Doon 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 doon. Peak fiction. Doon 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 doon. Let's go, y'all. Man, dude, this week I've been fiending. I have been fiending to come back just on camera. Just to get in front of the microphone again, man. It's just been me and my computer. It's just been me and my work since last Friday. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to talk about some Peak. And I'm ready to read some Peak, man. Whoa! Instant Messenger Sama. Holy flag darts. Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where's the camera? Emo. Wait, hopefully I turn on the right camera. Hold on, let me see. Is it the right camera? No, my camera's not even on. Whoa! Emu shut off my camera. Hold on, man. Wait. Technical difficulties. Give me a quick second. Emu shut off my camera with a $100 super chat. Hold on. Goodness, sweet mother of flagnards. Alright. Hold on. Here we go. The right camera. The right camera? Okay, nope, that's not the right camera. But at least we're straight. You know what I'm saying? At least it's not upside down. Okay. Next camera. Oh, of course. Emu, man, let me live. Let me live. I'm just trying to live, man. All right, now it's not that camera. Give me a sec. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today. Listen, man. Emu! Dak! My boy Dak! My guy! Shout out to Dak Saki, man. Comes in and says, make sure the carpet is clean, coach. It's about as clean as it can be, you know what I'm saying? Let me brush it off a little bit more, you know? Yo, I've been in a cave in here working, so... Yeah, it's pretty clean, Appreciate you though, Dak, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yo, Instant Messenger Sama comes in. Instant Messenger Sama. Not only Domi reverses me every stream, but Instant Messenger Sama goes up in like swimwear and drops a 100s. Now I'm scared. I was terrified when Subra reached out to me earlier in the week, telling me like, yo, this is like a code rainbow. A code blue, red, yellow, green, all of it. Anything you can possibly imagine. And thank God, due to me wanting to lock in to meet my deadlines in real life, in my career, I was like, man, I deleted everything on July 3rd to be like, man, I'm too distracted right now, you know. The Xeno greatness, by the way, Xeno Saga 2, man, greatness. Just greatness. And if y'all haven't seen any of the stuff that I've put out since the last One Piece stream, Xenoblade 2, one of the greatest games ever made. No question. I mean, what a masterpiece of masterpieces. Beautiful video game. Beautiful. And its DLC, magnificent. But I was getting too involved in that. I was like, bro, I gotta lock in. So I deleted Twitter, Instagram, anything that could possibly distract me last Friday. And I was like, you know what, man? We'll be back. And I was like, today's gonna be the day where we come back. We go up in like swimwear. Because the video uploaded on Monday, I recorded before all of that stuff happened. So this is my first time being in front of a camera since that. And so I'm just so happy to be back here on YouTube, man. I'm so happy to be back, bro. I can't wait to watch the One Piece episodes. By the way, is the 1102 adaptation this week? But I'm just so glad to be back, man. Just so glad to be here and ready to react to some greatness. Unspoiled, because I haven't been on social media at all. Like I said, thank God that the heavens lined up and I was able to just lock in on my work this week, and there was no need to get on social media, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everyone. I saw whenever I logged in on Twitter a few minutes ago to go post the YouTube link. I saw that Spicy sent me, that Bweezy sent me to get off social media. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Thank you so much for looking out for me throughout this entire thing. And then I gotta, shout out to Akash Panda and Subra for just being like, yo, code flipping red, man. And so, even if I had like the desire to want to go on something, they stopped me before that ever happened. So shout out to y'all, as always, for looking out for me. Now listen. My God, bro! Bro, we're 15 minutes in. We're 15 minutes in, man. And I got an instant messenger Sama, Domi Reversi, and I got Ali G. I've got the Gorosei. And Emu pulling up, man, like we're at the end of Egghead. Ali G comes in, and let me tell you, I don't know how the man does it. I don't know. As consistent as Oda himself. Drops a 50 gifted memberships, man. Shout out to everyone who's going to be receiving a membership today. Because sweet mother of Flagnards, man. That is insane. And that's coming off of last week, or no, the week before, where we had that membership battle that was crazy between Joaquin and Ali G. I was like, bro, they're having Conqueror's Hockey clashes. This is crazy. Ali G, man, you know I got nothing but love for you. Thank you so much for that. Holy sweet mother of Flagnards, man. All love to you, Ali G. And all love to you, Instant Messenger Sam. I appreciate everybody who's here. I'm going to get to the supers here in a second. But before we get into that, this is a really cool occasion. It's been 100 chapters since the big month break that led us into the final saga, right? And I feel like this is a big occasion for me because I'll never forget how I felt when the announcement came out after that chapter 1053 thing came out after the festival in Wano, and we got the 4 emperors there, and then we got the notification that One Piece was going to be entering its final saga. And that was such a huge moment for so many of us, whether you've been in here for a couple of weeks or you've been reading it for a very long time. That was a big one. And so I remember that month break being huge because there was so much speculation around where the series would go from that point forward. And, man, who would have thought in the last 100 chapters we would have had the finest of the fine, man. I'm talking, bro, we had Egghead and Elbaf so far. The double E dangerously. It's insane, man. It is insane. And so it's just so cool looking back 100 chapters. Back to whenever that was first officially announced, be like, man, it's crazy. Final Saga Oda. Starting off 100 chapters ago. And look at where we are now, man. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But let me go ahead and look through the stuff here. Y'all, in the past week while I've been working, I've had Crunchyroll up. Man, I gotta, you know what? Let me go through this. No, let me do this. Let me do this first. True Roofers! Well, if True Roofers is here, Instant Messenger Sama's here, Dak is here, Ali G. Only one missing is Josh Pointer. Josh Pointer's here. Okay. All right, I believe it. I believe it. My bad. I underestimated the power of what we were getting, of what we were in store for here, man. Holy Flagnards. Sweet mother of Flagnards. All right, I'll have the Santa hat on standby. Like if it's a championship belt or something, I'll have it on standby. We have the the all-star lineup for when you know it's gonna be a peak chapter, man. Everyone is here. It's Smash Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. By the way, is the audio good? I'm assuming it is because y'all are, I think, reacting to what I just said. But the audio should be good. Let's see here. True Roofers. Shout out to every time True Roofers shows up. I know it's gonna be peak fiction. That's like a confirmation in my heart. Like, yo, we're about to read some gas. You know what I'm saying? So True Roofers comes in with a 2, and just his final Saga Oda. That's how I know we're in for some actual peak. Like, that's all that needs to be said. That's all that ever needs to be said. Final Saga Oda, man. Put that thing. Audio Apu, appreciate you. Thank you so much to Suidi Salt. Thank you, Akash Panda. All love to you guys. Santa Beard. We're going to have to go to Dollar General for that quack, too. But thank you, True Roofers, as always. Still waiting for the sponsorship. All love to you. Then we have Kylian Mbappe. Whoa! Coming in strong! With a membership to the channel. All love to you, Kylian. Appreciate you so much. And welcome to the kingdom of awesome sauce. All love to you, Kylian. All love to you. Thank you so much for stopping by here today. Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a 1 hundos, and it says that he's number 1. It says Instant Messenger Sama is number 1 in our leaderboard. And I'm not gonna... We talked about this last week, or I think it was the week before, and then the week before that. I'm no longer gonna, argue with Instant Messenger Sama. Instant Messenger Sama has, from the chapter 1086 stream until now, we see the powers that Instant Messenger Sama has. I can't go against him. And so, if Instant Messenger Sama says that he's number 1, he's number 1. That's it. Even if he's up against Kurosaki Ichigo, who has a theme song named number 1. That's it. And Instant Messenger Sama says this dono was preordained and shows the flipping piece, dog. That's half black, half white for Tomi Reversi. That's just great. That's just great. Shout out to Instant Messenger Sama. All love to an absolute legend, man. Thank you so much for that. Ryan Ashfire coming in with a monster in the profile pic. You want to talk about somebody who would actually box Instant Messenger Sama? We have Van Arkride, my mans, in Ryan Ashfire's profile picture, who comes in at number 3 in the leaderboard, mind you. It comes in with a 10. It says insane character development, OMG. I'm not sure if that's for the chapter or if it's for me. But if it's for me, you better... I don't know if my character has developed a day since 2013 when I started doing this. But you know what I'm saying? We are here in all caps. So I'm very excited. Now I honestly don't know what you're referring to, whether it's the chapter or whether it's me. But we're here no matter what for that. We're here no matter what. All love to you, Ryan Ashfire. Thank you. And lovely profile picture. Lovely profile picture. Josiah9 comes in. Welcome, Josiah, to the Kingdom of Awesome Sauce. Appreciate you so much for that. Thank you. And then once again, Dak, shout out to my boy, comes in and says, make sure the carpet is clean, coach. About as clean as it can be. If it goes tumbling down, it will be all right. We'll be all right because, worst thing that can happen already happened before, which was absolutely like the dirtiest floor possible because I was out that week. And then it fell on the floor. That was horrible. We don't want that happening again. We don't want Carpet Hair Sama making a return. And as far as I'm concerned, Carpet Hair Sama hasn't come back since that chapter, which I don't even remember what chapter that was. I think that was the 1079 chapter. But it's been a while. Black Myth Kage comes in with a 20 and says, Sup, Recon. Sorry that I wasn't here for last stream. Man, don't apologize, bro. I trust me. With how inconsistent the stream schedule is, I'm grateful that anyone makes it to any of these. Let alone to going on several of them. I appreciate you, Black Myth Kage, for taking the time. But real quick, I'm in chapter 16 of Final Fantasy VII, my beloved. Oh, I'm assuming you mean the remake because we're talking about chapters. You have to be talking about the remake. I'll give you my full thoughts next week. Other than that, yet again. Oh, so you're gonna give me your full thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 next week. Now I've got something to look forward to next to Final Saga Order Greatness next week, if there is a chapter next week. Other than that, yet again, every Santa had both Jordan jerseys. You know what both Jordan jerseys mean? We don't bust out both Jordan jerseys for nothing. And the straw hat. gonna keep one here, but I've got both Jordan jerseys in the cabinet. If we gotta bust them out, we'll bust them out. But both Jordan jerseys is crazy. That's that's insane. That's insane. Especially in a year when we have, we've already gotten a top 10 chapter in the series for me with the mural early this year. I can't have another one. I can't have another one, man. This is too much. Bro, when there's been so many good chapters this year, it's going to be really tough to make that favorite chapters of the year list at the end of the year. Like, even without whatever we get from this chapter onward, it's already been a really tough year. So, but much love to Black Myth Kage, and seriously, I'm excited for your Final Fantasy VII thoughts in the coming chapters. Appreciate you so much for that. And then, of course, Ali G with the 50. All love to you, Ali G. Shout out to the head member, the god hand of finance here on the Gorosei of our beloved channel here. Shout out to my boy Ali G. It was 50 memberships, and much love to everybody who received one of those memberships. Josh Pointer comes in number 2 in the leaderboards, and a 10, and says, just all caps, OMG chapter to the 4th power. OMG chapter, OMG chapter, OMG chapter, OMG chapter. That was me while experiencing Xenoblade Chapter 10. Xenoblade 2 Chapter 10, and technically for the first Xenoblade's final Chapter 2. OMG chapter! You know what I'm saying? That perfectly describes it. But man, I don't know if I've ever seen Josh Pointer say that. I'm actually kind of scared now. I'm actually terrified, bro. What in the world are we in for? Thank you, Josh Pointer. Mother of Flagnards, man. Josiah comes in with a 5 and says, glad you're well. I had to be here for peak. Grab the jersey. Okay. Now everything's falling. Even my loopy thingamahoo is falling. I had to be here for peak. Grab the jersey. Listen, the jersey... Bro, man, y'all gotta stop! I'm already excited as it is because I'm just glad to be back on camera again. You know, it's been a week, dude. I'm stressing. I want to talk about some greatness. But I appreciate you, Josiah. And thank you so much for being here. And if we need to grab the jersey, trust me, we will grab the jersey. It's Cable comes in with a membership. I appreciate you, It's Cable. Thank you so much for joining the Kingdom of Awesome Sauce. Yo, it's a bunch of new members today. Appreciate y'all. Truly, truly appreciate y'all. Thank you, It's Cable. Presno in the pancake. Oh my god. Bro, if Presno's here, the Avengers really are here. Presno! Shout out, yo, Presno, I haven't seen you in so long. I hope you're doing well. Seriously, I really hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. In the pancake hours of the day. With a membership for 2 years and 2 months. That's a long time. It says, aye. How long has it been? It's been a minute. It has been a minute, but it's good to see you, Presno. Seriously. Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're doing well. Man, that's crazy. We really got the Avengers here today. We got the whole Gorosei and a half. Appreciate you, Fresno. I love you. Chunk Late comes in and joins the Kingdom of Santa Hats. All love to you. Thank you so much, Chunk Late, for the membership. Appreciate you. Subra comes in with a 40. Says, I'm much too hyped for the reaction, so start it. I mean, if Subra says it, I'm going to have to do it. Trust me. After we finish reading the Supers, we're getting right into it. Appreciate you, Super. Thank you so much for that. And once again, thank you for keeping me unspoiled, right? I truly, truly appreciate you for that. Even though I would have been off social media regardless, but I appreciate you just in case, something were to happen. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for that. Then Boise Bird. Shout out to my boy, Big Easy, comes in with a 2 and says, chapter so peak, JD Legend is back. JD Legend is back in what capacity? Because I know he just recently started reading the manga again. But is he like back? Like my boy said, the feeling is back? Because I actually wanted to have a conversation with him about that. Next time that he and I got together. But he's back? In terms of, because JD will always be JD in terms of entertainment value and bringing greatness to the realm of YouTube. But I'm talking about his connection to the best-selling manga in history, as the love for the game returned. If that's the case, my God, bro, what is this chapter? Are we cutting back to the present? What's going on? I don't know, man. What is happening? Oh, bro, what is gonna happen in this chapter? Shout out to my boy JD, man. Shout out to my boy JD. All love to my guy. But thank you, Bweezy. Appreciate you so much for that. And then Action Samurai Jiro comes in with the 2 and says, I don't think we have enough Santa hats. I have a Dollar General across the street. I mean, unfortunately, it's closed. But I can go to Dollar General with some Santa hats. You know what I'm saying? It might not be now. But we might be able to buy some new ones. You know, we might be able to buy some new ones. But I appreciate you, Action Samurai Jiro. Dude, I can't wait for this flipping chapter, man. Goodness gracious. We got 2 more here. Brandon King. Shout out to Brandon King. Comes from membership for 13 months and says, 1.1 years of peak fiction, awesome sauce, and all the rest. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. A year and some change. You deserve all the praise, my guy. Oda, you sly dog, you did it again. That's why he's the GOAT. Bro, what is in this flipping chapter, man? Ah! Man! Appreciate you, Brandon King. Thank you so much. No praise to me. All glory to God. All glory to God. I am but a mere fan here. I am but a mere fan who's been blessed with an opportunity to be able to discuss greatness. That's all it is. But man, I cannot wait to see what in the world is going on in this chapter. Thank you for one years and some change, Brandon King. Appreciate you. And then the last super here. Before we get into some peak, comes in from Wheezy Bird. Comes in with a 2 and says, next week is the 28th anniversary chapter, by the way. So, you're telling me we're getting whatever this chapter has, and then a 28th anniversary chapter? What in the flying flag darts? Bro, I feel like we've already been on a good stretch since Instant Messenger Sama touched down on Elbath. From then up until this point, we've been like in a really magical stretch of just great chapters, just back to back to back. Are we getting the 28th anniversary chapter next week? Oh man, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Let me put up the LeBron was still in high school. Let me start the poll. Are we reading the title today? Let me know if we're reading the title today. 1102 adaptations this Sunday. I will be here no matter what, Akash Panda. What I'll do is I will watch the episodes that I can't wait to watch. Either tomorrow or Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll be right up in like somewhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say 2 things. Number 1, before we get into the greatness of this chapter, I'm actually watching quite a few anime this season. Let me pull out my my Crunchyroll. Now, it's a really special season, at least for me and my tastes. This is crazy, dude. Like I can't recall the last time I was watching this many anime. Well, last year there was a season where I was watching quite a few. But this is nuts, man. This is actually nuts. Like, I'm watching a bunch of these. So, we got Kaiju number 8, greatness. A Couple of Cuckoos, greatness. Dress Up Darling, greatness. Down to Dawn, greatness. Oh my god, bro! I'm not caught up yet, but when I catch up, I gotta talk about To Be Hero X, bro. To Be Hero X. Can I pull this up on stream, bro? This series right here, bro. I love it, man. I think it's my anime of the year so far. That junk is goated, bro. It is so good. I really rock with it. I really rock with it, and I can't wait to catch up so I get an opportunity to talk about it in a top 5 of the week or something. To Be Hero X, man. Taco P's Original Sin is on the watch list. I haven't watched that yet. I watched Gachiakuta. That was a pretty good first episode. Grand Blue is flipping back. Let's go. And I still need to watch that. And then on Netflix, they got Kaoru Hana, which unfortunately isn't dropping until like September or something. So I gotta watch it somewhere else. I gotta Goldie Roger the website, go sail the seas to go find a website to watch that. And then the other one that was on there, it was like The Summer Someone Died was the other one that I was interested in. So I still need to watch that. I need to watch the Takopi's Original Sin. The other ones, we're locked in, man. We're locked flipping in, dude. And so it's just, yo, To Be Hero X, y'all know, Pete. Bro, there's just something about the way the anime looks. It makes me feel like I'm watching Arcane. But like if Arcane was an anime, like the animation's dope, and then when it goes into anime style for its fights, I'm like, oh man, this is peak. And I love the way they've split it up. Like the Hyperion, if you guys ever read Hyperion by Dan Simmons, it's like you're reading a story, but you're seeing it from multiple different perspectives. And that's how this series has been so far. Like you start off with one POV, then the next POV, and the POV after that, and it's like, oh, I love how they're doing this. And so, shout out to Be Hero X, man. I have rocked with that series heavy. It's super good. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the season so far. And then, Xenosaga 2. It's been so good. It's been so good. I think I'm nearing the end. But when we finish that, it'll be time for Saga 3. And then, of course, after that, it'll be time for Blade 3. And I'm so excited for that. But I wanted to touch upon something that I received from so many people. And it honestly made me emotional when I was reading through these things. Throughout the years, especially since the Trails video, there's a lot of people that have that know me as like the Go Raw Fire Peak Fiction dude, right? And I'm honored to represent such a thing. But something that really meant something to me in these last couple of weeks, and specifically the last week before I went on hiatus, was just how many posts on both YouTube and on Twitter I received about being called the One Piece guy. Like that meant something. I can't tell you the amount of times I saw the One Piece guy is playing Xenoblade, or it's so cool to see the One Piece guy on Xenoblade. I was like, I'm the flipping what? That meant, I think that might have been the most special compliment I've ever received in my years of doing it. To represent my community, to represent my favorite series of all time, that, bro, I legitimately had like the Cody Rhodes tears in my eyes, man. I was like, bro, that means something to me. So, all love to the individuals who potentially know me of all people as the One Piece guy. That was totally unexpected, and I saw it so many times, and I was like, man, when we do this live stream, I gotta say thank you. So all love to the individuals for saying that. That was so cool. That was so unbelievably cool to me because of how much, number one, I love this community, but also because of the love I have for this series. And so it's just any opportunity to get to like be an ambassador for it. It's what we're here for, you know. So I appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Now, it's time. I got the iPad today because my laptop, I haven't used that thing in ages. So we got the iPad here today for full 4K, 2160, whatever, scan quality for some greatness here today, man. I don't know what to expect. Last chapter was fantastic. It was great stuff. But bro, just look at what we've got here so far. And if you're sitting here like me wondering, what in the flying fighters are going to get in this chapter? What in the flying fighters are going to get in this chapter? I don't know, man, but I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what Oda could possibly follow up all of the greatness that we've gotten up until this point in Elbaf. What do we got? What's going to be in store? I don't even know, like, what's to, like, potentially even, like, I don't know, man. So I can't wait. We are here today for chapter 1154. Chapter 1154 of the best-selling manga in history. We are here today for what is nearly the second best-selling comic of all time. And let me tell y'all something, man. My boy was in a Dodgers game. Big old Monkey D and the rest of the Straw Hats. We're at a LA Dodgers game for a One Piece night where I saw nothing but Straw Hats in the crowd. My series is out here. Clark Kent just released a movie. But he don't got my goat's staying power. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe he does, because Superman's been around since 1938. But, or 1936, whatever it was. But, when even Superman is out today, or tomorrow, today or tomorrow, we are here to read some Beak. And all love to Clark Kent. All love. And I hope that movie's great. And I look forward to watching. But we are here today for what is the soon-to-be best-selling comic of all time. We're here to read chapter 1154 of Ichiro Oda's I was honestly impressed the other day when I was watching Inter Miami. I forgot who they were playing. I think it was Palmeiras. But it was whenever Messi scored the free kick. And Andres Cantor just released the longest goal that I've heard in a minute. I mean, it was long. It went on for a while. And it made me feel like, I need to hit one of those one of these days. And so I was like, Peace! Let's go, y'all. We're ready. We're ready for some Beak. We're ready for some greatness. Oh, man. Let's go. Okay. Let me double check and make sure that I got everything running good before we get lost in the sauce here for this chapter. Let me see. Okay. We're good. Audio's good. Lighting should be good. I don't know what my bit rate is, but y'all are used to it. We could be 144p, who cares? Alright. Let's see what we got going on here today, man. Let's go. W. Water in the chat. I just drank some water, man. I needed it. Okay. Here we go. Oh. One Piece chapter 1154. Can we read the title? Yes. I'm scared, dude. I'm terrified. Yo, the pre-stream hype this week was crazy, man. I'm terrified. What are we in for? Chapter 1154. I can't even die? Is it gonna be another sad chapter, bro? With all this, I thought it was gonna be a hype chapter. Oh, it's gonna be a Loki sad chapter, man. Oh my my god, bro! I could barely live through the last one. Alright, well, now I'm definitely not ready. You feel me? I already can't handle the fact that the flipping Kuma flashback is airing right now. Shout out to Kiku, Ulti, old girl, forgot her name from the Hyogoro's Yakuza, Yamato and Peipei as you're going up here. Only Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 38, at the grave of a hero born in West Blue and brought up in Ringo. It's got the Hill of Swords here. Shout out to Berserk, man. Let me make sure this is good to go right here. No Oda note? Alright, now I'm getting the jersey now. Alright, I got the jersey now, bro. That was the last confirmation I needed. Yo, no Oda note? We're still in the flashback. 63 years ago, Elbaf's past. Lord Jarl. Isn't this the flipping the thingy, the landscape that happened at the end of Big Mom's flashback? And I think the time period measures up as well. Or was it 66 years ago? We talked about this last stream. 64, 60, 62, is it 63? Lord Jarl. Jarl, the narrator, the oldest man in the present day, lost his partner. Cascade Beard Jarl was struck down dead by the hands of a certain young girl. Big Mom! Her name was... Oh, man! Her name was Charlotte Linlin. A mere human, yet she left a large part of a giant village in ruins. She would later go on to become an emperor, earning the epithet Big Mom. Oh... The narrator is incredible, man. I could never hype up individuals the way this narrator does, man. That same year, Elbaf faced a string of tragedies. It was calamity after calamity. Sudden fires, windstorms. Some would say that that's a monkey D. Dragon, you know? But that was a long time ago. And bitter cold waves, shout out to that Yu-Gi-Oh card, devastated the crops, which of course probably caused starvation. The abnormal weather, man, look at how frozen over this all looks. This looks crazy. The abnormal weather also brought fishing to a halt. This once magnificent land had fallen into famine. And so you have them legitimately frozen over. Yo, I mean, you see the icicles coming out of his boots. They can't fish, they can't eat, they're freezing. That's gotta be a terrible way to go out, man. Starving and freezing? And listen, I live in a place that gets really hot. I've almost always, my entire life, lived in a place that gets really hot. So it doesn't really get super cold. Well, it gets cold, but that's because I'm not used to the cold, you know. But this is like this is going into, I don't know, whatever the coldest place in the planet is. That's what this is. You feel me? This once magnificent land had fallen into famine. Now do you see? This is all that child's doing. Is that Mama again? All she does is blame my dog. You know what she is? She's a Twitter user who blames life on everything else besides themselves. Now do you see? This is all that child's doing. This land was cursed because you all failed to kill it immediately. Woman! Look inside! Look in the mirror! See what's wrong! This land was cursed because you all failed to kill it immediately. Talking about my boy Big L! Big Loki! Yo, I promise y'all, she might be the first one that makes me break. That makes me break the Yusuke Urameshi, man. Yo, everyone can get it. Even grandmas. Shout out to Yusuke Urameshi. Now do you see? This is all that child's doing. All my boy did was live. All he did was breathe. This land was cursed because you all failed to kill it immediately. No, surely it's just a coincidence. Crash. Loki! Loki made it back? My guy! He says goo! He's just a flipping kid, man! He's just a kid! The man just came out of the womb! You already made him climb the mountain! He climbed the Elbaf tree! Yeah, he's staring at me. Good! I hope he knocks y'all with Conqueror's Hockey! Prince Loki! Take it away. Don't ever let that monster near me again. Where? Prince Loki, you have to keep away from your mother's room. Let him back in there. Let him back in there, bro. Let him back in there. Like, do you know how terrible of a human being you have to be? Gouge out those monstrous eyes. The eyes of Sauron? Why would you want to gouge out the eyes of Sauron, man? If left unchecked, his curse will grow till it brings about this nation's collapse. Good! Good! If it's got somebody like you on top, good. Let it all burn! Like what's her face from Hunter x Hunter? Morena, the way she said. Let it all burn! Let it all! Mother of Flagnards! And of course, the children are starving. What? I'm hungry. Sorry, sweetie, that was the last bit of bread we had. You're going reaving? We could easily steal what we need from the humans. Ain't that how it's always been in Elbaf's history? Don't be ridiculous. A senseless raid on them would only bring shame to Elbaf. That's the law of the land now. Those bastards from Hunter's village are attacking. What are they? It seems they've hit other villages too. They're starving, man. They're starving. Quick, arm yourselves. Don't let them loot the village. So they're blaming. They're trying to say that because Loki was born, we're going into myths now, right? We're getting into like Pied Piper and almost knocked over the camera, man. We're getting into like some of the tragic myths of our time, and stories and fairy tales of our time. Is the camera still on? Into the tragic things tales that have been said throughout the course of history, right? Like these stories that, like, oh, someone was born, and after all that, like, chaos befell the area. And that's what we're seeing here with Loki, where all these things are happening after Loki came out of the womb. So it's like the land fell into ruin. Chaos started ensuing with starvation. And then the Big Mom thing happened. And then the icicles. And they started freezing. And all of this after my boy was born. And they're just trying to find somebody to blame it on. Like, man, sometimes it's just the way it is. You can't blame it on a baby. You can't blame it. We already explored this in the Ace flashback. But it's like, man, you really can't fault a newborn child, bro. You just can't. Especially not in things like this. Especially when his mom's is like this. Are you kidding me? Internal giant struggles, the narrator. Internal giant struggles weren't unheard of. During desperate times, during desperate times. But these incidents only resulted in making the period more severe and bloodied. And what we see here is an arm and an axe bloodied, bro. I mean, violence ensuing. Viking culture. The country was engulfed in chaos and misery. I heard a rumor about that princeling born in the castle. Is that in the background? I heard a rumor about that princeling born in the castle. He's cursed. Here we flipping go, man. And the bitterness festered as spirits broke. They're just trying to find someone to blame it on, man. And they had to blame my dog. Hey, wait. Hajrudin. Hey, Hajrudin. Good moms. Not Flagnard mom. Good mom. Hey, Hajrudin. Your brother doomed this country with his curse. Somebody swing. I don't care who swings. Don't make me swing. Once I start swinging, the swing ain't gonna stop. As his elder brother, you'll take responsibility as a sacrifice. Mom, you get up and hit this man with the biggest sandal in mankind's history. I'm talking the chancleta or the belt, bro. You bring out the... Smack the Flagnards out of this man. As his elder brother, you'll take responsibility as a sacrifice. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Don't you know my son's a cutie? You let him know. Who's gonna be the world's longest living man? Is that a promise? Canada. Nothing but an outsider who seduced Harold. Go to hell. I love this country. He goes in and starts choking. Don't you lay a finger on my mom. Now you lay the sandal. Hajrudin. Harold, let's flip and go. That's the king right there. That's the king. That's what kings do. Flatten him like the pot of greed. Like he's St. Charles. That's what we need, man. Turn him into an accordion. Like that one SpongeBob episode. Doon, 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 doon. I'm gonna flatten you. King Harold. Shout out to my guy, man. Daddy. King Harold. That's a real king right there, man. Flatten that Flagnard. Brothers. You must not fight amongst each other. Oh, Harold's trying to put a stop to it. Word reached me about Loki's birth and the recent famine. I was building a rapport with various nations, and when the news came, our allies acted without hesitation. They loaded tons of food and supplies to be shipped here. Humans may be small in stature, but not will. That's a beautiful line. Our allied nations came together to ensure that, and we got enough to truly fill and satiate our giant bellies. We will graciously accept their aid. Dig in and fill your hearts with gratitude. It's like the king came in at the right time with the right words to say and with food, bro. With food and an answer to all these problems they've all had. It's like no wonder that this man came to be known as a beloved king. Look at what he saved them from. Harold, how are we supposed to dock on the island? Yeah, it's about as big as you'd expect. I love this panel. Really well drawn. It shows the tree in the background. It reminds me of Xenoblade. If these good folk are ever in a pinch, it'll be our job to return the favor. Bro, they're crying. He's crying as he's eating bread, man. You know, the things that we take for granted. If these good folk are ever in a pinch, it'll be our job to return the favor with all our might. Remember, this tiny world is ours to share. This tiny world is ours to share. What a line. What a line. Yo, Harold, dude. My guy. Yes. Queen Estrid continued to publicly declare that the plague suffered by Elbaf. She died! You know, I'm not one to celebrate someone's death. I don't do such things. I don't do it, and I won't do it. It's tough not to. It's tough not to. It's tough. We're brought on by the accursed prince. Right up until the eve of Harold's return. And she denounced her son with bitter hatred until her final anguished breath. Oh, heck no. Until her final breath? I hope the moment that she reaches down into Dante's Inferno, she comes face to face with, like, flipping, whatever from the Void Century. I don't care what it is. I never see that thing one-on-one. Come on, man. What a flagnard. Are you kidding me? I gotta feel for Harold, because, of course, he loves his wives. But it's like, man. And I, of course, feel for Loki, because even though she's a piece of garbage, that's still his mother. So it's like, you know, the one thing in your world, you know, your mom, losing that, it's like, come on, man. Come on. So I definitely feel for them. I definitely feel for them. Definitely feel for them. Flipping Queen Estrid, man. Naturally... It's like Harold is saying, all of the love that wasn't given you up until this point, I'ma give it to you. I'ma give it to you. And it just makes their story that much more tragic. Naturally, the people believed her passing was part of the curse. Loki, my son. Loki, my son. He's holding him up with so much pride, so much joy. The complete opposite of his mom. He was born with a condition that affects his eyes. Well, he could see, but I understand what a pity. So they bandaged his eyes. He can't even smile for me. You can't blame him. I guess it makes sense he did just lose his mother, and it's everything he went through before that. At only a few months old. Can you imagine going through this much at only a few months? At only a few months old, Loki had given up on love. He just entered this world and said that there is no love to be had. That's just heartbreaking, man. It just truly is. But you get it. You understand. When the one person that's supposed to love you more than anyone else in the world does what she was doing until her final breath? Like, not even her final moments was she like, Loki, I'm sorry. None of that. He couldn't even have those moments. You sure have a lot of scrapes. No, those are. Harold's diplomacy soon started to bear fruit, and Elbaf's winter finally came to a close. Branch Route 1? That's right, it'll help build inter-village trade and communication. Man, and Loki, bro. Restoring the fractured nation and venturing across the seas continued to be prioritized while other things became an afterthought. Estrid's older brother was appointed as Loki's personal steward. This is the realm of the dead. Isn't it dangerous here? The coastline keeps areas separated so the beasts won't come near. That looks very similar to the place that we saw in chapter 1076. The place where we first saw Colin and Shanks before Kid pulled up. It looks like the port. Oh my god, it is! She's doing the barrel thingy! You're so cute when you're worried. Hey, shout out to my girl in the apron. Shout out, she's rocking it. Shout out! Hadrudine, don't you have training with Elbow from West Village? You should head back. Oh, that's amazing. So and we're even calling back to this. To this bar place. You should head back. This is Ida's Tavern. Ida's Tavern. You hear? Fishermen, castaways, even pirates. I'm ready for any and all customers. With any luck, I'll be of help to Harold. That's beautiful, bro. Oh, that's awesome. We love to see that, man. We really do. It's like they really couldn't be any more different. With Hadrudine's mom and Loki's mom. This could not be any more different. 56 years ago, Jarl's house. You were at the scene of the reverie. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! You were at the scene of the reverie incident, Harold. Are we still live? We're good. Just want to make sure before we log it. You were at the scene of the reverie incident, Harold. Yeah. My friend was one of the invited kings. He smuggled me in as one of his guards. I couldn't ask the questions I wanted to without blowing my cover. My friend was one of the invited kings. And he smuggled me in as one of his guards, bro. Is he talking about what I think he's talking about? I couldn't ask the questions I wanted to without blowing my cover. Wait, no, man, that doesn't make any sense. 56 years ago, that... It can't be who I'm thinking of. It definitely isn't who I'm thinking of. So the Black North was what snuck him in? If that murder hadn't happened, I might have been exposed. So someone got murdered in the reverie, similar to what happened with Cobra? Let me read this again. You were at the scene of the reverie incident, Harold? Yeah, my friend was one of the invited kings, and he smuggled me in as one of his guards. I couldn't ask the questions I wanted to without blowing my cover. If that murder hadn't happened, I might have been exposed. If you were caught, so does that murder have a connection to what we see when we cut back to the the when we first started the flashback and we got into like that Quag 2 calls like the Ace Attorney sequence where it starts setting up the mystery with like the treasure chest with all like the craziness that was happening there. Does that have a connection to this? If you were caught, all this would be the least of your worries. Haven't you heard the tale of Gale? Of what? Gale Raw Warhammer 40K Company? Hold on, those are 3 words. I need to roll that back. Gale La, Frankie, Ice Pops, Luigi, Kaku, Gale La Warhammer Company. Great Hammer Battalion. Furigana might be a spin on Gale La. So it's not Gale La. It's Gale Ra. So it's just a raw version of Gale La. Okay, I thought it was Gale La. It's just like how they do like Alabasta and Alabasta. I thought that's what they were going for. So no, it actually is a completely different thing. Gale Raw Warhammer Company. Interesting. They're that gruff troop of giant shipwrights that are themselves with warhammers, right? That just sounds filthy. A troop of giant shipwrights with warhammers? We gotta see these dudes. I thought they were just a myth. No, they existed. They really did travel far and wide, sending letters back to Elbaf. Oh, they look raw. This man's got the Triple H flipping sledgehammer, bro. I received the final letter myself. It said they'd all been captured. Can you believe it? Over 100 warriors were taken prisoner, including ancient giants. You think the world government was responsible? There is no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. However, they sank deep into the ocean at a certain point in history. I didn't realize that we might be talking about the 4th century here. That changes everything. Let me pull back a little bit. Hold up. Haven't you heard the tale of a Gale Raw Warhammer Company? They're that gruff troop of giant shipwrights that are armed themselves with warhammers, right? I thought they were just a myth. No, they existed. And they really did travel far and wide sending letters back to Elbaf. I received the final letter myself. It said they'd all been captured. And can you believe it? Over 100 warriors were taken prisoner, including ancient giants. Do you think the world government was responsible? There is no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. And however, they sank deep into the ocean at a certain point in history. Oh man, dude. It had to have been when that big huge flood came in that like caused like the old Wano that we saw. They were talking about like with whenever we got back from the like after the Reverie when we cut to the Reverie stuff mid Egghead, and then right after we cut from that, we saw like the way the rest of the world was like in chaos and how the sea level was rising. Then in the mid Egghead, we saw how the world had once been flooded, and we're heading on that path again. And so, going back to the Joy Boy stuff and the apology, and it's like, these boys were a part of that. Warhammer Company, bro. You know how fire that sounds? Especially with like Warhammer context. However, they sank deep into the ocean at a certain point in history. To be blunt, there's probably a deeper reason why your ideals haven't worked out, and it has nothing to do with you. Lingering animosity, huh? These are just rumors, but I also heard a story about a frozen army of giants. these are just rumors. But I also heard a story about a frozen army of giants somewhere. It seems our people are regarded as enemies of the larger world. I don't know if my brain can keep up with this, man. Warhammer, shipwrights. Now there's frozen flaming army of giants and whores and... Oh, man, but that adds an entirely different... My flipping mind is spinning, dude. It seems our people are regarded as enemies of the larger world. Clearly, but I've already resolved to face any hurdle. Prince Loki. Oh, hold on. Before we move, I gotta take some of this in, man. This is fascinating. So 56 years ago, there was something that happened in the Reverie. A murder that happened that allowed Harold to not be exposed while he was attending. Comes back, and they start having a conversation about the government and what they're capable of. Because we start talking about the Galera Warhammer Company. And they just sound so cool. And I can't wait to see these guys. I'm sure we're going to see them in the Void Century. It's going to be so cool. Taken prisoner, including ancient giants. They just look so dope, dude. They look crazy, man. And there is no doubt that they once faced a great enemy. Had to have been Emu, right? Crazy. It's crazy the way that stuff like this is just randomly getting dropped in chapters like this. But this a story about a frozen army of giants is so fascinating. And I love this line of it seems our people are regarded as enemies of the larger world. Like, what? Obviously they are. Obviously they always have been. But the frozen army of giants. We can continue now. Prince Loki, I know you cursed and killed my little sister. Prince Loki! Now let's see. What kind of garbage we'll be serving up today? Somebody swing on this man too, bro. Is Loki getting a little older? He is getting a little older. We see his hair come down. The horse of fortune died. The steward's body was in the realm of the dead. Oh, we see Loki slowly getting a smile as he gets older. 48 years. That's another big jump. So we went from 63 to 56 to 48. 48 years before the present day. The villages drew closer in terms of trade and identity, and the nation stood together. My dream is to join hands with many other countries around the planet, for the giant race to be welcome all over this grand world. And that's exactly what we were hearing. That herald, this is the herald that we heard of in legend. The individual that truly wanted to join with the other individuals around the planet. King Harold's so cool. He's changed so much. He's going to be a king who will go down in history. Well, you look thrilled, Hadruddin. Is it because you're illegitimate? Prince Loki's the true heir, right? You're just an illegitimate throwaway. Loki's got the Luffy Joy Boy smile. He's got the Luffy Joy Boy smile! Kid Loki's got the Luffy Joy Boy smile, dude! Oh! You want to talk about all of the times that we've talked about Luffy and Loki parallels throughout the course of this entire section of the story. And for him to have that? Come on! Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. He's got this flipping Luffy Joy Boy smile. Beat them all up, guys. This is that Loki? Beat them all up, guys. This is Elbaf, the world's strongest country. We don't need weaklings around here. And we're seeing how Loki has been affected. First, we see how he's starting to take things into his own hands within this first part, right? This first strip. We've got the Horse of Fortune dying, and then the steward dude, his body was also found in the realm of the dead. Loki taking things into his own hands, or at the very least smiling at the fact that maybe the curse, quote-unquote, was the thing that caused it. And then we cut over and says, this is a disaster. King Harold's already left on his voyage. They're coming. Close the doors and get the children inside. And so Loki's coming in with all of the animals, straight up Luffy style. Loki and the animals. This maybe some of them may be some of the ones that we see in the current day. Beat them all up, guys. This is Elbaf, the world's strongest country. We don't need weaklings here. The narrator. Loki, driven by scorn, unleashed chaos onto Elbaf. Dude, he's literally an evil Luffy right now. But it's like an evil Luffy in terms of the smile. Obviously, he's gone through so much. But the just in terms of his intent, wanting to cause this chaos, wanting to cause this all this craziness. But he has the Luffy smile. He laughed at the feeble as they ran. Hey, Loki. Dad went through hell to rebuild this village. Huh? You think you get to call my father Dad? I don't get why everyone respects him. He's dumb for trying to play nice with those human insects. That's crap. Okay. We should all try to see from each other's perspectives. Don't get cocky just because you're big. Being cocky is my right. I'm the prince. And he smacks the flagnars out of his brother. Don't you dare talk back to me, you runt. And man, we're really starting to see how his upbringing affected him. Hajrudin, stay back, Gerd. Gerd? Stay back, Gerd. He'll think you're his friend. Loki will hit you next. We are his friends, you dummy. That's beautiful. Oh, and it's Goldberg, too. That's awesome. Hajrudin. So they really have been... They have been his day one friends. So the current stuff must really be hitting them different. Hajrudin, are you okay? He needs first aid. The laugh and the tongue. You're so pathetic I could puke, Hajrudin. Just a group of weaklings huddling together. It's 'cause of your mom's filthy blood. If only you knew, Loki. But it's like, I can't blame him for feeling this way. He's gotta hate the world, bro. He's just got to. You can't blame him, man. Just a group of weaklings huddling together. It's because of your mom's filthy blood. Young master, that's still going too far. He's still the son of the king. He's also a prince. Don't call him a prince. Loki spread pain. He starts smacking flagnards out of the guards and destruction. But nothing he did filled the hole in his own heart. No matter how much pain he caused, no matter what he did, it couldn't fill the massive hole that was in his soul, bro. No. Oh. He threw himself off the same place that his mom threw him off of. Just trying to die. Flipping mother of flagnards. like you can't blame him in anything. He didn't feel love, man. He never knew the beauties of so many things. To him, life is hell. He's just trying to fill the void in his heart, man. Dang, man. You really gotta feel for Loki, bro. You really do. It's like, come on, man. What's the deal with this island? Where's the welcome community? What? Let's go! Hold up! Wait! It can't be time, bro. It can't be time. There's no way it's time yet. There's no way it's time. Hold up, man. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, bro. Hold on. It's time, boys. Hold on. Wait. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh, I'm ripping the iPad off. Hold on. There's no way. No, I think I broke the camera. Who cares? I'm gonna hold it. Oh my god, bro. It's Whitebeard. Hold on. Can it at least just sit there? Can it rest? Hold on, bro. What's the deal with this island? Where's the welcome committee? Oh, we found one. Look, it's a giant. Well, this is definitely Elbaf. Shake! Come on! Yeah, this brat's got one hell of a devil face. I know he's a giant. Flipping Whitebeard. I know he's a giant, but isn't he a bit too big? Hey kid, why are you crying? Whitebeard. Yo! Harold spotted this particular man 8 years ago during the river. Is it rocks? Alright, kid. You better. Dude! Finally! After all these years! After sitting here day after day, I was here when chapter 9. I was here when chapter 957, titled The Ultimate, mind you, dropped. Oh yeah, this calls for a black jersey. I've been waiting centuries for this. The most hyped up character this side of Joy Boy, bro. Oh my god. The man who stood toe to toe with Roger. The dude. The bro. This man had the greatest pirate crew of all time under him. I have always wanted to see him. The man Loki looks up to. Alright, kid. You better say yes to both of these questions. I ain't the type that takes no for an answer. Look at how raw he looks. He's raw. He looks amazing. He's got a coat. Can we get much higher? Can we get much higher? Can we? god! It's flipping Rox, yo! It's Rox! He single-handedly killed a Navy HQ admiral and vanished without a trace. He did what? He's out here bodying admirals. He just casually, single-handedly taking out admirals. He single-handedly took out an admiral. This earned him a massive bounty and the government's ire. First off, this is Elbaf, land of giants, yeah? Second, we'll find Harold here, yeah? Actually looks different compared to what I thought it was going to look like, actually. In this particular page, I was like, I wasn't expecting Rox's face to look like this. He actually looks a lot like Blackbeard. He's got the Blackbeard nose. He's got the Blackbeard eye. He kind of has the Frankie eye, too. Even the thing right here. Yo, he looks so cool. So dope. Like, unbelievably dope. It's flipping Rox! There's the title. Rox D. Zebek. Future captain. So he wasn't the captain yet. So even before he was a captain, quote unquote, of the Rox Pirates, he was still rocking with the squad. He's got Stussy here, Shiki, and Whitebeard. Father of Emperor... I can't, man. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. Yo! Blackbeard! That means... Oh my God, I can't believe it! We always thought it was one of the two. We always thought he's either Buggy's dad or Blackbeard's dad. He looks like him, high-key. When I saw his face, I was like, bro, definitely rocking like a Frankie eye, and it's like the Blackbeard nose. I definitely understood that. Even the beard. The father of Blackbeard? So both Blackbeard and Luffy, their parents were at one point in time the world's most wanted and dangerous criminal. Very interesting. Very interesting. For all theories aside, it's Rox! And he's Blackbeard's dad, bro! Oh, man. Y'all... Where's... I don't have enough... y'all were right. Ashton Samurai Jiro was right. I didn't have enough Santa hats. Oh my God, bro. Rox. Finally. Bro, I have been waiting since that chapter came out in like 2019, 2018 to see this. Rox. He's here. I've been waiting for so long to see his face. And not only does he get... This is why Oda was hiding him. Because you probably could have figured it out based on the face itself. The father of Blackbeard. The Zabek. So many things make sense now, man. So many things make sense. So now I have to wonder for Loki and Blackbeard's connection. I have to wonder how Loki feels about Blackbeard, considering the man he looked up to the most was Blackbeard's pops. So what are we going to find out when we get to God Valley, in this, if we get to it in this flashback? Blackbeard and Shanks both going to have major importance in there, right? So is that why Whitebeard? Man, this actually adds completely different context to everything that happened with Blackbeard and Whitebeard. Because Whitebeard's looking at this entire situation as, that's the son of my captain. Of an individual I respected and looked up to so much. Look at how young Whitebeard was rocking with Rox. So it just makes you think, how did Whitebeard feel when Blackbeard killed Thatch? When Blackbeard pulled up to Marineford, when he was the reason why Ace was captured? When so many of these things was because of him? How conflicted must Whitebeard have felt after all that? Knowing this is the son of my captain. Man. So the first person that they met upon making it to Elbaf was Rox. And Rox wants to see Harold. Dude, let me read this narration again. He single-handedly killed a Navy HQ admiral. Killed, bro. A Navy HQ admiral. And vanished without a trace. This feat, and I use that word very, very strongly, feat earned him a massive bounty in the government's ire. Rox D. Zabek, man. Bro, we're gonna come out of this flashback absolute rock stars. I mean, if you smell, it's time, man, to smell what Rox is cooking. Do y'all know how long I've been waiting, bro? We've all been in the boat. We've all been waiting, man. We've all wanted to see this day that my boy would come back. Finally, Rox has come back to the One Piece manga and actually showed himself. Dude. Shiki and Whitebeard are in this chapter. Rox, man, and he's rocking the coat, bro, the coat. Ah, Roger's greatest adversary, man. The dude with the most stacked lineup in One Piece history. Bro, 3 future Yonko were under this man's crew. He was the captain of all these savages, of all these legends, of all these goats. It's like that Jerry West meme. If they're dogs, he's a wolf. You feel me? Like, this is rocks, man. And I guess you're a little emotional because you're like, man, One Piece really is ending, bro. Like, the silhouettes. This is like one of the silhouettes that I wanted to see the most. And we saw it. Rocks. We finally see him. And he's actually Blackbeard's dad. That's crazy, man. Amazing chapter. I mean, amazing, amazing chapter. Another perspective to the Big Mom stuff. Loki, man. And everything that he's gone through. Seeing how much the Giants are going through. I mean, what a well put together chapter, man. The Herald stuff when he returns. I mean, man. Feels like this chapter's like so much happened in it. Look back at Ida's Tavern. Finding out about these Warhammer shipwrights. Man. And then at the end of it all, Loki starts his heel turn and it's like you can't blame him. He starts to turn heel. He's got the Luffy smile. Dang, dude. The I can't even die scene. Yo. Phenomenal chapter, man. I of the highest caliber. And it's like he felt this way right before he ran into Rox. So it's like when Rox pulls him out of the situation, he sees how cool these dudes are. And what they do and the way they live their lives. It's no wonder he completely fell for that lifestyle and the idea of Rox as an individual. How could he not when this was what he was trying to do before? Rox saved the dude's life. Just by being him, I'm assuming. Literally him. If I could go back, like 5 years ago, and tell myself, yeah, man, well, I wouldn't want to spoil myself, but just to see my reaction, or any of our reactions, I'd be like, yeah, man, the Gorosei are gonna all pull up at once. Emu himself is gonna show up at one point. The mural. Let's see, Joy Boy and Emeth piece with the flipping thingamajig. Let's see, Shanks one-shot kid using a named attack. And then after all of that, we're gonna have Emu show up on Elbaf. The Loki that we heard of for so many years ended up being one of the most goated characters in the series. And in the midst of that, within his flashback, you would have a Rock sighting, man. We knew Rox was coming. We actually talked about this last stream, about when the Rock stuff would happen. But the fact that we already got the face reveal. And the father of Blackbeard stuff. Oh. And there's no break next week, man. What a peak chapter, bro. And I mean that with full sincerity, man. A peak chapter. Oh. Ross. Yo, he really does look like this man though, bro. He's got the nose. You can't mistake that nose, man. Dang. What a chapter, bro. Full face reveal and all. And Shamrock. I almost forgot about Shamrock. That's how crazy this arc is. Yo. Yo, Laz, my brother, bro. Yo, Laz, number one. I hope you're feeling better, bro. I hope you're back almost to 100%. All love to you, man. Number two. Ready for Omega Okada this weekend. I'm so flipping excited, man. I will be there no matter what for that. What might just be the show of the year. Just so unbelievably excited for it. Can't wait. But man, this chapter was amazing, Les. This chapter was absolute peak. Absolute peak, man. Shout out to Elbaf, bro. Like, come on. Yeah, no, hey, I'm telling you, Guitar Hero, like, that's gonna be peak. Oh, we love to see it, Laz. So glad, man. Oh, Megan Okada, bro. That's gonna be. I can't believe that we're actually getting that, man. And that's right, Young. That's right. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable chapter. He can't be human, bro. So I recently rewatched all 4 classic matches they had. It's a great idea, Winston, actually. That's a great idea to do that before the show. Brandon King comes in membership for 13 months and says, or no, I already read that. I read the Wheezy Bird thing. Akash Panda comes in membership for 14 months, says, giant shipwrights in the Void Century who called themselves Gali La were captured by the world government and were frozen in Punk Hazard. If that's the case, Akash Panda then. It's a great point. On the being frozen in Punk Hazard thing, because immediately, what first started in my mind when I started thinking about the frozen giants was like the giant straw hat, right? And oars. But you bringing up the Punk Hazard thing is very interesting. Punk Hazard pre Aokiji and Akainu stuff. Where they would experiment on the giants. All 100 of them. And I guarantee you when we get the full scope of that flashback of Akash Panda, seeing what like led into it, it's going to be so unbelievably sad, man. Like, we're really going to rock with those dudes. They're giant shipwrights called the Warhammer Company, man. They've got it. I'm going to come out of that flashback loving those dudes. Yeah, just, come on, man. You can't call yourself that. That's great. That's a great comment, Nick. Thank you, Akash Panda, by the way. Nick Sanders says, do you think the Reverie incident has something to do with the Brooks backstory? That's actually a great call. That could be how we start sprinkling seeds for that Brooke backstory and how we eventually tie that back into this with the Gunko stuff. Because they actually might line up timeline-wise. That's a great call. That's a great call. Subra comes in with one hundo and says, Porgas D. Ace versus Marshall D. Teach was Goldie Ace versus Rox. Yes, it was. Yo, actually, now that you say that, that's a great point. It really was Roger's son versus Rox's son. That's nuts. That adds an entirely different layer. Just like we were talking about the Whitebeard stuff earlier in Marineford. That actually adds an entirely different layer to that fight, to me. So it was already like a peak fight for different reasons. That's nuts. Gold D Ace versus Rox D Teach. I gotta wonder why Blackbeard changed his name. Why he didn't rock as like Rox D Teach or something. Why did he change his name to Marshall? Or is Marshall his mom's name? You gotta wonder. And the Zebek, like, he has nothing from except for the ship. The ship is called the Zebek. But he has nothing. Well, technically he has the D. But nothing else in the name, which is so interesting to me. Oh, yeah, good call, Young. Like, Ace also went with Portgus, which is his mom's name. So maybe that's another parallel, that both of them wanted nothing to do with their dads, and so they just did not even acknowledge them. So Blackbeard went with Marshall, which might connect to the mom's side of things, and so did Ace, which would add another crazy parallel to both of them. Or they didn't know at all, like Brandon King says. And like Super says, and Rock's name's carrying, immediate execution. That's a good point too. That's a good point too. Mattias Cerulli comes membership for 16 months. Thank you, Super. Great comment. I've been caught up with this series since chapter 907. What a chapter to catch up on, Mattias Cerulli. Good God. The who we thought was Shanks at the time ended up being Shamrock meeting with the Gorosei chapter. The chapter with Milsgard. That was the Lucci chapter as well. That was there's a couple things with the empty throne in that chapter. Before we, of course, we got to 908. That was a phenomenal chapter. Chapter started off with like the Yonkos. Oh man, what a chapter! Chapter 907 was a special chapter, man. That's one of those chapters that I actually remember like what happened. In like one of those where were you when you read those chapters? Where I remember I woke up extremely early that day to live react to the chapter, and after I reacted to it, I had to go to work. And I was at work all day sweating. I mean, I was stressing oh my God, is Shanks evil? All the other stuff that was happening. And then when we got home that night for the live afterthoughts, it was one of the craziest afterthoughts that we've had, man, because we were just losing our minds. What a chapter, man. I love that chapter so much. So after this chapter, I had to tell my anime-only friend to watch out. This is insanity. Yes, it's going to be very difficult. Now I understand what Subaru was telling me. This is a chapter you need to stay off social media completely for, because if I would have been anywhere online, I can imagine especially the Blackbeard being Rox's something probably would have been everywhere, similar to like the Gear 5 stuff. So I'm so glad that I took that hiatus at the end of last week. I'm so glad now, because man, you're absolutely right. Like, anime onlys are gonna have a tough time escaping this about Rox being his dad. It's going to be a really, really tough spoiler to dodge for anime onlys. Thank you, Mattias Cerulli. Wow, and 16 months is crazy. Presnotix comes in with a 2 and says, Luffy's going to tell Loki his eyes are cool after this. Please, that's what I need. Because, bro, his eyes are cool, man. He has the eyes of Sauron, bro. Like, you know what Luffy's going to do? Luffy's going to do the same thing that he did back in Whole Cake Island. He's going to be like, yo, he's not going to say it, but where's the viewers are going to be like, the readers, we're going to be like, yeah, Luffy's telling Loki the same thing that he told Sanji, that why are they listing off everything that's cool about you? Loki's going to take off the bandages in current time, and everybody's going to be like, oh, his eyes! They're going to have like the whole SpongeBob, my leg! He's bald! They're going to start, sliding into obscurity. And Luffy's going to be like, what's wrong with y'all? See how goated his eyes are? Just like with the whole Sanji thing, it's like, why are they listing off all the qualities that are great about you? He's like, man, Loki got the coolest eyes of all time. I wish I had eyes as cool as that. And that's gonna be the real seal of the deal for their friendship. Whenever he truly like has that moment with him. So, and I need it. I need it, especially after how much Loki has gone through. I need it, man. I need Loki happiness in real time. Thank you, Bresno. AC Messenger Sama, still number 1 on leaderboards, mind you, comes in with a 10 and says, "You telling me, excuse me, that the man just disappeared out of thin air? Oh, I didn't even think about it in that way. I mean, yeah." And it shows the Domi Reversi. Let me tell you, Winston Messenger Sama, you might be onto something there. Because if he fought him, if he killed the Admiral and disappeared, now that you mention, I didn't really think about it that way. I just thought about it as like a flex. But if it disappeared out of thin air, there's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to it. Unless someone close to him had like blue nose fruit or something where he could like escape to the door, but it probably was something spooky that causes him to just disappear out of thin air, maybe even his ability. Oh, man. Why didn't I think of that? Yes. That could connect to his abilities, right? Or the warp. Yeah, that's actually a good call. That's a great call, actually. On the disappearing out of thin air thing. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And then with the warp thing, and like modern day with Van Augur, I could see that. If that truly is his ability. The wind fruit, so Lazzy might have had the... If he does have the wind fruit, does that mean that, because if we assume the dragon also had that fruit, does that mean that he passed the title on to Rocks? You know, it was a shoot passing of the torch, where Rocks died, and Dragon took his ability. They called it in the middle of the ring. Oh, that's why Jay. Oh, now I get why Jay was so happy. Oh, I gotta reach out to him now. Of course, he's the Blackbeard guy. Oh, I gotta see his promo. I gotta see Jay's promo then when he calls everyone out. Oh, that's great. That's great. That is great. That is great. Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Jay's reaction now. I saw a comment earlier that I thought was very interesting. Before we get to the next super chat, that Plaxi said, "What would you say is the worst One Piece chapter?" For me, it'll always be, just on a personal note, there was a chapter in Dressrosa. We'd just come off of a break. And this was when Oda was taking a lot of breaks. It was of course when he was sick. So like I understood why he was taking so many breaks, and we always let all of that be as it be, because you know, especially when the man was sick the way that he was, you never want to rush someone, especially whenever all we wanted was for him to have a speedy recovery. But there was one chapter there where it felt like the entire chapter was a recap chapter. And that's the only time from chapter 20, from 2013 until now, where I came out of a chapter being like, what in the flying flagnards are we doing? Like I think that might have been like my only, like, bro, flying flagnards is going on. Just on a personal note, for how that felt on a weekly basis, that'll always be the worst One Piece chapter to me. Just because I was like, man, like, a recap chapter, really? After a break, we can't do that. We can't do that. But like I said, I understood. I understood because of all the breaks, and it doesn't really bother me now. But man, at the time, I was like, what in the flying flatters are we doing, bro? But Akash Panda comes in with a 2 and says, where will One Piece's story be for the 30th anniversary? So if we're about to hit the 28th, I'm saying 30th, we're on Laugh Tale. I'm saying 30th Laugh Tale. That's my call. Because I think we'll be in Elbaf next year. 30th, we're on Laugh Tale. I would say. Or at least the arc. Maybe not at Laugh Tale itself. Actually, knowing Oda, we might actually, for the 30th anniversary, be at Laugh Tale. That's going to be a crazy year for me, man. The 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII and One Piece. Arguably the two most important stories to me are going to be hitting their 30th anniversary that year. That's going to be nuts. 2027 is going to be crazy, bro. It's going to be crazy. But I'm going to say Laugh Tale, Akash Panda. I'm saying Laugh Tale. Definitely Laugh Tale. Alejandro Solis comes in with a 5 and says, crew looks like the East Blue 5 in the last panel. That's a great call, Alejandro Solis. They really do. Like, you got Stussy, Nami, then you got Shiki and Whitebeard pulling up like Zoro and Sanji, and then Rock's in front of them like the king. That's a good call, man. That's a good call. Rocks equals Luffy, Whitebeard equals Zoro, Shiki, Sanji, Stussy, Nami, Inherent Will versus Biological Will is Luffy versus Blackbeard. It's a great comment, bro. That's a great comment. You're spitting. Because I kept thinking, why are they saying that Rocks is like the future captain of the Rocks Pirates? It's like, yeah, Luffy wasn't officially known as like the captain of the Straw Hats until they got his first bounty. Bro, that's kind of nuts. Imagine one of Luffy's first feats being like he killed Akainu, or he killed Kizaru or Aokiji. Rocks did that coming out the gate. He came out the gate, no crew, embodied an admiral. Killed him. The manga, the text said he killed him. He didn't defeat him, he killed him. That's crazy. Off the gate. Might be the greatest rookie season of all time. Of all time. That's crazy, man. He was averaging 40 a game coming out of high school. Coming out of high school, dude. Crazy. Crazy, man. Thank you, Alejandro Solis. Appreciate you. CB Maddie comes in with a 10 and says, I feel bad for Loki, but he definitely could have reached out to his brother about his pain, but he chose to shut him and everyone out. And that's the thing, CB Maddie, right? Like, it's like, I most certainly understand where Loki's coming from. There must be so much hatred in his heart, and like it said, it showed in the narration, he was just trying to find a way to fill a void in his heart. He truly was. He was trying so hard to fill a void in his heart. But, man, this is why Rocks and them are going to mean so much to him. Because, bro, he threw himself off the top of the tree. Or the middle of the tree, technically. But, you know, threw himself from a sizable distance. Just like where his mom threw him off. Like, he was that desperate for feel, for emotion, for something to fill his heart, man. Ida and Gerd and the rest would have accepted. And for sure, Ida 100% would have. And Gerd, we saw that within this chapter. Right? Like, Gerd and Goldberg were like, yo, that's our first friend. Or not our first friend, but that is our friend. You know, like, they 100% would have been about it if Loki would have reached out. And that's one of the tragic parts about this story, CB Maddie. For sure. Because he really did choose to shut everybody out, man. And it's like, you can't blame him. He didn't know love, like the narration said. Thank you for the 10, brother. Kosh Panda comes in with a 2 and says, did Zebek have 2 devil fruits as well? Ooh, that's a theory. That's a theory. And if he did, why was he at Marijoa? Great point. So, I'm assuming. Let me provide context to what I'm about to respond to you with, Akash Panda. I'm assuming that this is before he gained knowledge of the Void Sentry stuff. I'm assuming it's before that. Because I think the Void Sentry stuff, knowledge, the going to taboo subjects, all of that, I'm going to assume that sort of changed Rox's perspective on a lot of things. This is still Rox going out and just being him. He may have been trying to either A, prove himself, or B, go after a fruit, similar to his son. But at the same time, if he did have Void Sentry context, he may have gone on up there with a purpose, trying to find something. So it's all going to depend on whether he knew about the Void Sentry and the taboo subjects that we know Rox is so deeply interwoven with. But my assumption is that he didn't know about it at this time, and he was going up there for another purpose. And it may be for a fruit. Now, if he did have 2 fruits, I wonder what those would be. And if he already had them right now. You know, Lazarus bring up the wind fruit. Then the warp fruit was also brought up, which are very good ideas, especially for the whole vanishing thing. Is the Yami Yami no Mi also a possibility? But that'd be too much, right? Like father and son both having the same fruit. Be awesome if he had Buggy's fruit, though. That'd be dope. And then that would actually make him a menace against swordsmen. That's a fantastic. I'm gonna be thinking about that for the next couple of days. Akash Panda, your comment about the 2 devil fruits thing and why was he in Mighty Jug? Because I think those are 2 excellent discussion points. 2 excellent discussion points. Thank you, Akash Panda. Instant Messenger Sama comes in with a 10, who's still the crown king of the stream, and says Rox was the one of only of you that knew of my existence. He dared to steal my throne, my birthright, my cause. He had it coming. Instant Messenger Sama has spoken, and I will not speak against Instant Messenger Sama again unless we get Domi Reversied again, and that's not happening. So whatever if Instant Messenger Sama says that Rox deserved it, he deserved it. End of story. End of story. All up to you, Instant Messenger Sama. Appreciate you. Saint Shade comes in with a 5 and says, could Zebek be the friend/king that helped Harold to get into the Reverie as the king of Beehive? Ooh. And like you said, that would explain why Blackbeard's trying to do the same. So if Rox snuck Harold in Oh, that would be... I was not expecting that, actually. That's interesting. Rox, being the king of Beehive, manages to go up there. So he went up there potentially, going back to Akash Panda's question, maybe he was at the Amari Joa because he's the king of Beehive. So he went to attend the reverie as a king. And potentially got into it with an admiral up there. That's a great, great comment. And a good point. That would definitely explain why Blackbeard was trying to do the same. Just when I thought we spent so much time being like, man, what really happened in the Reverie, right? And it went from chapter 908 to chapter 1085, 1086, all those chapters. And now we're gonna be another chapter, a couple chapters for another Reverie. And when the Flagnards happened in this Reverie, right? Now we're gonna have to wait to cut back to the Reverie all these years ago to see what truly happened. But I like that theory a lot, Saint Shade. That would explain why he was at the Mari Joa. Thank you, Saint Shade. Great comment. Great comment. Brandon Charbonneau comes in with a 20 and is the second, number 2, on the leaderboard here. And says, random theory. Appreciate you, Brandon Charbonneau. Who says, Rox has a speed fruit. Like I Show Speed, Lightning Bolt Hair. Shout out to I Show Speed, by the way. That's my guy. Lightning Bolt Hair. Ooh, the Lightning Bolt Hair. That's actually a great point. That's a great call. Because look at his hair. Yeah, he definitely has hair that can be in that type of thing that like after like lightning strikes, or even it just looks like lightning. And even like his eye. Lightning bolt hair. It has like the lightning strike coming down his eye too. How can you kill an Admiral HQ and disappear without anyone noticing? Imagine being able to speed anything up or down, running, healing, thinking. Well, actually, now that you say that, the lightning bolt fruit could do all that. If I was thinking of lightning bolt, right? Lightning bolt strikes immediately and then disappears with just as fast as it appeared. So it has like an instantaneous strike and it's gone. So it can strike and disappear. And that would make a lot of sense for the description that was placed against the Admiral. And that would make him extremely dangerous. An individual who is in control of lightning, of any type of weather in One Piece, but especially something like lightning, that would be cool. Imagine being able to speed anything up or down, running, healing, thinking. Not for sure. I mean, so your theory is that everything that he does is with speed. You know, is regeneration or is healing. The way he thinks. An awakening being slowing other people up and down. Yourself. That would be pretty dangerous. If a speed fruit does exist, that would be extremely dangerous in the One Piece world. And especially in the hands of somebody as capable as him. So that would actually be super, super cool. But I like your lightning bolt idea. With the hair. I think a lightning bolt fruit is actually pretty cool. Aaron Key says, what if Rox killed the Admiral to protect Harold's identity from being blown? Would be nuts. Because it's actually, I would say it's 100% confirmed that the murder they were talking about was the Admiral at the Reverie, right? That's what I believe it is, and I believe even the narration says it. that you know, Harold spotted this particular man 8 years ago during the reverie. That's when the murder happened. He killed the Navy admiral. It had to have happened there. So it happens there at the reverie, and he potentially did it in order to protect Harold's identity from being blown. That's a good comment, Aaron K. Very, very well could be the case. And if that is the case, then we're already starting to see why people follow Rocks. Because just you saying that makes me want to follow Rocks. Because look at what he's willing to do for others. You feel me? Thank you, Brendan, by the way. Great comment. Akash Panic comes in with the 2. Says Blackbeard was the treasure of Hajinosu that the... Whoa. Blackbeard himself being the treasure that the WG stole. That would add an entirely different perspective to that panel where Emu's holding Vivi and Poseidon, Shirahoshi, Luffy, and Blackbeard. That would add an entirely different weight to that panel for sure, if that is true, Akash Panda. Man, I really hope we cut to God Valley now, just to see the Blackbeard stuff and the Shanks stuff. Dude, if in this flashback we see Roger and Flip, oh my bro, if next week's chapter is Roger and Rocks, 2 straight back-to-back flashbacks going to God Valley, forget it, man. Forget it, dude. Forget it. Look at how the mountain in the top right of the last double page spread was cut in half. What if Rocks had the chop fruit before Buggy? Oh, shoot. I didn't even notice that. Hey, listen. If we're rocking with Blackbeard's ability, that'd be the coolest thing ever. I'd be down for that, personally. Do you like Dressrosa or Whole Cake more? I love them both for very different reasons. I gotta go Whole Cake on a personal level. But I love Dressrosa a lot. It has a special place in my heart. That's where I started the YouTube channel. Was in Punk Hazard Dressrosa. So like that section of the story has a very special place in my heart. But man, I love me some Whole Cake Island. I really do. Would Zebek care that much about Teach though? Yeah. Well, not yet to your question, but saying that's a great question. That's what we have to find out. Like, what type of father was he in terms of caring for his child? Maybe Rocks might have been the type of dude who didn't even know he existed, right? Like, maybe Rocks was the type of guy to go around and lay a couple seeds and never check back on him. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe either A, didn't even know Blackbeard existed. That's a possibility. B, did know Blackbeard existed, didn't care. Who knows? Maybe he was a good father, played it off like he isn't, and let Blackbeard escape during God Valley, or maybe he's a horrible dad. I don't know. Maybe he's a good dad. I don't know. We're not going to assume. But I don't know. Hold on. SOS. Where did you leave the comment, my friend? I'm trying to find your comment that was left to me in Japanese, but I do not see it. Yeah, I see a few message retracteds. Yeah. I don't see it. You have to post it again, my friend. Definitely try posting in the chat again, because all I see is a couple of message retracted. So before I get to your super Akash Panda, while scrolling up trying to find the comment, I saw your comment that says, we saw frozen giants in Punk Hazard in chapter 660. See, I thought you were referring to something else. But were they actually in there? I honestly didn't remember that. Hold on, chapter 660. That was the Trafalgar Law Warlord of the Sea chapter. Let me see. Great color spread. Oh, right here. Yeah, they really are frozen in Punk Hazard. I see it. And bro, Oda was holding on to this for 500 chapters, bro. From chapter 660 until chapter 1154. Yeah, here they are. And we were always like, who in the flying flatterers are these dudes? And they were frozen above and below them. All over. And when we find out the truth about this story, it's going to be really tragic. Thank you, Akash Panda. Akash Panda comes in with a 2 was Zebek defied a celestial dragon because an admiral summoned and killed. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. It's like, yeah, an admiral would probably be present, but it would make more sense if he defied a celestial dragon. They come in and summon an admiral, and then he just pwns the admiral. He just takes the admiral out. Which would be even cooler. That'd be even cooler. Could you imagine? Get like a Rocks Luffy parallel? Where people have always feared the celestial dragons just because of, an admiral. And Rocks said, screw those guys. Probably gained Garp's respect. Rocks was like, man, screw these celestial dragons. And he destroyed an admiral. Was like, yo, y'all, if y'all want to see me, y'all can see me. That would be awesome. That'd be really cool to see in real time. Honestly. I'm down for that theory, Koshman. Just to see Rocks take out, defy a celestial dragon and then take out the admiral that was summoned by the celestial dragon. And that'd be great. And that would also explain why they never talk about the dude. If he did something like that. And, of course, all the taboo subjects and stuff from chapter 957. Brandon, thank you, Akash Bandit. Brandon Charbonneau comes in, once again, the number 2 in the leaderboards with a 10. It says, another thing to notice, Rocks and Herald have marks over the same eye. Oh, yeah, just like Dragon. What if Dragon was inspired by Rocks and Herald, and the revolutionaries are carrying out Rocks' will and idea? That's a great observation. Because you're absolutely right. They both have marks over the same eye. And of course, we know Dragon has that mark over his eye as well. We were just talking about him potentially taking that Dragon inheriting his ability, his actual Rox's ability, his Devil Fruit, but carrying on the idea and the will that would later lead into the Revolutionary Army. I would love that just for what that would mean for the overall grand scale of the narrative. An individual of Rox's caliber would actually be someone of like... Because the person who's impacted the story the most up until this point is Roger, right? He's the one that started the Great Pirate Era. So many things run through Roger. And if his main rival in Rox were to have a similar type of impact, it would have to be impacting multiple different characters and multiple different individuals through like their ideals. And we're seeing that right now with Loki. We've seen it throughout the course of the story with Whitebeard and Kaido and Big Mom and all these characters. But to have it for the Revolutionary Army too? That's when you hit, like, for sure, no question. From an impact standpoint, those are the two most impactful characters to the story up until this point. Obviously, Emu and Joy Boy, when we see their full story, they're gonna be the most impactful characters to the overall narrative by far until the end. But for right now, in terms of, especially from the Pirates, Roger and Rox, especially if Rox's ideas and his will is what led to the Revolutionary Army, 100%. It's something I'm not going to rule out because of the idea of the Revolutionary Army, especially if what Akash Panda said is true, and Rox defies the Celestial Dragon, and we know he goes into taboo subjects. He knows about the Void Sentry, all this stuff. But how crazy would that be if Rox's will carried on by the Revolutionary Army? We know they're constantly beefing with Blackbeard. That makes you think, or at least it makes me think. Luffy was inspired by Shanks. Loki's inspired by Rox. So many of these pirates were inspired by, the legends, Rox and Roger and Whitebeard and so many. Who was Blackbeard inspired by? Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you. It's the Messenger Sama comes in with a 5, still number 1. Says, I feel like Blackbeard's mom is going to be a mixture between Bakina and Rouge. Blackbeard has her hair, and the rest of his genetics is just rocks. I would love that. And the I'm gonna say he inherits her laugh. I'm gonna say that her laugh is the Zehaha. I think Rox is gonna have a different laugh than unless did he have the Zehaha? I'm gonna say that she actually had the Zehaha. No, well, he didn't laugh here. But yeah, I'm gonna say the Zehaha comes from Mom. I'm gonna say it comes from Mom, and then the hair as well. And that's what it is. So, thank you, Instant Mr. Sam. I appreciate you so much for that great comment. Yeah, literally Zehaha with an X. It's gonna be Xehanort all over again. Oh, of course, Akbar J. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much for being here, even though the streams overlap with your work time. But I definitely appreciate you for tuning in. Still, absolutely. Yeah, still saying message retracted, my friend. Unfortunately. I think Rox might be half Lunarian given his stature, and he had a baby with a half Buccaneer woman, which gave us Blackbeard. So, Rox having any type of Lunarian blood in him is an idea I'm definitely down for. But I think the one I'm even more down for is the Buccaneer, the mixing whatever Rox is, whether it's half Lunarian or just a straight up human, whatever, with a Buccaneer and giving us Blackbeard. Because I most certainly do believe Blackbeard has Buccaneer blood. I believe that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. I like that idea a lot. African Surf. Is it just me, or is Zebex's speech pattern and general attitude resembles a mafia mob boss? It definitely has those vibes, I'll have to bring it up. It's so good. Pardon me for another Ace Attorney reference, as many as possible. But it reminds me of Furio Tiger from AA3. I gotta tell my brother that when he wakes up tomorrow. That I'm gonna show him this exact panel and be like, yo, this reminds you of Furio Tiger from Trials and Tribulations. Great case, by the way, man. Great case. Tons of fun. But it definitely does have a similar type of speech pattern for sure, and I can see the similarities. That's gonna make it even funnier when this gets animated. Oh, Mattias, I really apologize. I didn't see this till now. Comes in with an ARS 100 and says, now we can imagine who the Sea Kings were talking about in chapter 648. I'm excited that my man Iceberg will become relevant again. Chapter 648. Let me see. Was that the two sovereigns chap? No, that was the Roger flashback. 648. Oh man, this cover story, dude! I forgot about this. The Conus cover story feels like it's been ages. God, man, this stuff right here is gonna have crazy context in the end game with the Noah. Oh man, the Sea Kings, bro. God, what amazing panels. The road toward the sun. Look at my boy Wiper, man. Come on. Let me see. It's been a while since I've read these lines. Roger, man. Crazy. But it is in a different age now. Can it be fixed? Oh, this is interesting. The ship is falling to pieces. Can it be fixed? Can it be used? I cannot say. We will need their help to fix it, but it is a different age now. Were they potentially talking about the shipwrights? Can it be fixed? I hope so. Before the promised time arrives. We're so close to that, bro. We are unbelievably close to that. Yeah, Akash Panda, you thought the same thing. Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about. As them, like, especially since Odom drew the giants being frozen in Punk Hazard like 12 chapters after this. I definitely think so. Oh yeah, I'll definitely be reacting to that soon, DJ. No question. Yeah, the Noah stuff is crazy, Supra. It's crazy. I have an off-rip theory. This is Brandy King. Thank you, Maddie Cerulli, for that. Going back to that chapter again. It's good stuff there. Have an off-the-rip theory. Rox had an oil Logia. Always caught himself on fire when attacking, which is why Blackbeard's pain tolerance was low. He could explode stuff via finger snaps like Mustang, which is how he killed the Admiral quickly. Plus, his money-making scheme was oil-related. Also, oil is... His son captured fire in Ace. He most certainly did. If Rox has the oil fruit, I want to know how something like that were to play as an oil Logia against someone like Roger. You feel me? So... But that would be cool if that would explain why Blackbeard's pain tolerance is so low. Is if something like that were to be the case. Because I definitely want to know why that, why that's happening. Right? Like why his pain tolerance is so low. Not for sure, Jody List. Did you post the Tetsuya Salt? It doesn't show it on here. Not for sure, African sir. Let me see. Here's the Japanese person's comment Google translated. Thank you, Tetsuya. I appreciate you. All love, because it kept saying message retracted. Now we know why Whitebeard's last words in front of Blackbeard's entire crew were that Blackbeard was not the one Roger was waiting for as he took his last breath. He knew that Blackbeard was carrying on his father's will, and Luffy will carry on Ace and Roger's will and defeat the evil clan of the D-Clan. The D-Clan will carry on the true D will and find the One Piece. And that's why Saturn said Teach it is of a special bloodline. And going back to what African Surf was talking about with the Buccaneer thing, I truly believe that to be the case. And that's actually a great call, my friend, for the evil clan of the D. You know, going back to that line from the mural, where it was talking about like the people of the half moon and the full moon. Right. That's a great call. See, it's stuff like that. You know, we were talking about the emu stuff a few weeks ago. And now, like, I'm so certain that's where we're going for final villain route. But then I read that stuff for Blackbeard, and that also makes so much sense to me as like that route too. It's gonna be so interesting to see where we play into that. Yo, Michael Mickles! Let's get it. He says, no, I missed this mech reaction. I might need to consider seppuku for the shame. Or either watch the VOD, probably the latter. God bless you, bro. Amen, brother. God bless you, too. I hope to catch the next one. Papa Zebek. Papa Zebek, Michael Mickles. Papa flipping Zebek, man. Can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Like, we actually got to see him. Rocks at the bomb fruit of Mr. 5. His initials are RDXD. Oh, like the RC car from Call of Duty. Coach, do we see an emu face reveal? Maybe at the end of this arc, yeah. I think it's almost time. Unless Oda's saving it for the Void Century flashback, but I think we'll see it before then. Yo, Drums, good morning, man. How you doing? He is based one Rox de Brasiliano. That dude was bad, and also vanished. Ooh. Rox de Brasiliano. Never heard of this before, actually. By the way, for anybody who plays Honkai Star Rail, all the best to y'all in pulling Saber. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh my god, man. I need to pull for that character. Shout out to Fate. Rox de Brazil. Oh no. A Dutch pirate. Let's see. He died. He was born in the Netherlands, died in Jamaica. Oh, interesting. Rocks named Roche Brasiliano. He disappeared. Was a Dutch pirate. His career lasted from 1654 until his disappearance in 1671. He was first made famous in Alexandria in 1678 with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers of America. What a line. He did not know his real name, but historians have argued his real name was probably Garrett Zune. Rock the Brazilian. His body was never found. How interesting is that? He was a notoriously cruel buccaneer. Led a life of mutiny. I love how it says right here, popular culture. Maybe the namesake of the One Piece character Rox Dizabek. I love that. I love that. Man, that is interesting. I had not heard about that until this point. Thank you for sharing this, Mr. Sama. Yo, Vortex, we finally saw the legend, bro. The legend, man. Endling says, Zebek? And had to have told Roger about the road poneglyphs. It probably made Roger pursue them. And it was found that there that made him laugh and need to pass the will on. And whatever was found there made him laugh and need to pass the will on. So you think Zebek was among the individuals who told Roger about the road poneglyphs, which thus led Roger to like Zoe and all these places, and maybe even what led him to clash with Big Mom, right? Because we know he had that clash with Big Mom over one of the road poneglyphs, which would imply that Rox knew where they were, if that is the case. It's true. Oh, right here. Vortex says, Coach, I remember you talked on Top 5 about reading a Fantastic Four comic. Yes. I suggest reading the new Absolute DC and Ultimate Marvel comics fresh start without reading main continuity. Yo, hey, that sounds good to me. We'll definitely be doing that. I'm actually in the middle of reading a run from a couple of years ago. It's about almost a decade old on the Marvel Unlimited app for Marvel, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So when I finish reading that run, once I read the end of that individual's run for that particular stretch, then I will do what you're saying here and start with some of those, for sure. Yeah, man, this year's been a big kick for me when it comes to comics. Yeah, I've always loved comics. I own a bunch of them, but there's just something about this year, and it's both me getting really heavy back into Marvel vs. Capcom last year, and all the tournaments I've been watching for Marvel 3 and stuff, but it's also Marvel Rivals, which I haven't played in a while because of Xenoblade, but yeah, I've been in a massive comic mood all year. Did you get into that Uma Musume horse game? No, I have not yet. I've definitely heard of it. I saw a clip from the game that looks crazy, but I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, we're pop culture now, Gosh, man. We're definitely pop culture now. It's kind of crazy. Coach will be the next to be revealed, and who'll be the last, Emu or Joy Boy? Because we got Rocks now. I'm gonna say Joy Boy's last out of those. I think Emu gets revealed. I think we get a face reveal for Emo at the end of this arc, and we get the Joy Boy face reveal in the Void Century. But the real last reveal is going to be Luffy's dream. I think that is the final reveal for the entire series. Is whatever Luffy's dream is. I genuinely think that's like maybe the last chapter in the series is going to be the Luffy's dream chapter, or like final volume. And most certainly super effective. Yeah, rest in peace to the comic story for sure, Nasty Ninja Man. Yeah, it's been great, Vortex. Oh yeah, for sure, Vortex. Let me pull up on my phone. It is. Let me see if I have it saved. The flipping flag darts. I have so much Xenoblade on my phone. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let me go on my photos real quick. The run is... God, bro, I'm scrolling through endless Xenoblade images that I've taken. Where is it? Dang, I think I made it too far. What in the flying flagners is it, man? Hold on. Matter of fact, hold on. Where's my top 10 of the year list? Because I have it in my top 10 of the year list that I was gonna make. Did I write it down there? Xenoblade's fault, bro. Like, I have so much stuff on here for that. You know what? Let me go Marvel Unlimited, and I'm gonna show you the where the run starts, and then we'll turn it back from here. It is continue reading. So the run starts with Secret Warriors, the 2009 thing, and it's the Hickman run. Hickman Hickman, the Hickman Marvel run. That is, I've been reading his run of Marvel comics, from Secret Warriors up until the end of the run, like in 2015, 2016. That's been the binge that I've been on, for that. Ace Mestre Sama comes in with a 5. Still the number 1 in the stream, mind you. It says maybe he was the first Buccaneer that screwed things up for the whole tribe. Maybe he was the first Buccaneer that screwed things up for the whole tribe. The first Buccaneer that, I mean, technically Joy Boy did as well. But he just screwed up just in general. That he had to apologize for it. But That would add a little bit of tragedy to his story. A little bit of sadness. Among so much that he accomplished, and yet it's the first Buccaneer to screw things up for the whole tribe. Leading us to this very day. And how fitting coming off of the Kuma flashback, right? It would actually lead directly into the Kuma flashback. That might be one of the reasons why they were so adamant on going after the Buccaneers after all that stuff happened. It's good comment, isn't it, Mr. Sama? It's a good point. Oh, yeah, no. Absolutely incredible, Vortex. Incredible. Not even a captain of a casually 1v1ing an admiral. That's what I'm saying, Noel. That is what I'm saying. Title and thumbnail for this go to stream. Oh, yeah, no, we're definitely going custom title and custom thumbnail when I wake up in the morning tomorrow. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Alright, y'all. It is 1 in the morning. We're going to call it here. It's almost been a 3-hour stream. But, man, amazing stream. Awesome discussion. Phenomenal chapter. Rox was in this week's chapter. I still can't believe it. You know, it's just another one of those things that we actually got Rox in a chapter. Rox was in a One Piece chapter. On top of all the greatness with Loki and Harold that we got throughout the course of the chapter. Building us up for all the stuff that's going to continue to take place in this flashback. So, I'm so curious as to where we go next week. I want to say that we go with Rox and Harold, and maybe we even see some God Valley stuff next week, which would be so cool. That's a way you have a 28th anniversary chapter, right? With a Rox chapter. So, the flashback can only go up from here. It can only go up from here. Into more tragic Loki stuff. Loki finding value in his existence. Getting out of that void. And follow... Man, we're going to find out who Rox is as a person next week. So obviously we got little bits and pieces at the end of this week's chapter. We're going to see him like really come into his own. We're going to see him recruit Big Mom next week. Potentially. Man. Dude. A short 3 hours? It really was. It really was. But yeah, I will see y'all. I appreciate you joining the list, and thank you to everybody who was here today. All love. All love to Lazy Mofos. All love to the squad. Subra, Silvershot. All love Alejandro. Nasty Ninja, Saint Shade. Sudisaw, all love to Vortex. Man, Vortex, crazy stuff. Man. Actually, yeah, I haven't had a chance to, before we end the stream, man. You know, rest in peace to Diogo Jota, bro. Like, that completely broke my heart, man. You know, anytime I see someone that has so much potential still left in their lives and they just lost immediately, and that just broke my heart, man. You know, I'll love to the Liverpool family and obviously to the fans of the sport, yeah, but most of all his friends and family, man. Like, just crazy. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, man, I will see y'all this weekend for the One Piece episodes. Very, very excited to do that. Now that we're finally back and ready to start recording again, and then all the other stuff that'll follow after that. And for anybody following me for the video game stuff, I'm almost done with Xenosaga 2. Then we'll get on Xenosaga 3 after that, and then after that it's Xenoblade 3. And I cannot wait for all of that greatness that's incoming, because I've really been enjoying Xenosaga 2. So we'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a Rox chapter, and if you smell what Rox is cooking chapter, bro, I can't believe it, man. I still can't believe it. All love to y'all. thank you so much for this awesome stream. And appreciate every single one of y'all who was here today for another monumental occasion in the One Piece greatness, man. All love to y'all. Take care. Man, dude.